So in this specific problem, we have been provided with some data, and from that data we have to derive a diagram. We have to conclude a diagram so that we can solve the problem of determination of resultant. Okay, whenever we say a resultant has to be determined, then we should have a force system positioned in those specific quadrant on the axis system or a plane. Now here no diagram has been provided, only some data regarding the forces has been provided, and some forces are here, 6 number of forces are here, and the forces are shown to be acting along some direction, north, east, west and south. So first of all, in order to generate that XY axis conventional system, we have to first establish how this NEWS can be drawn. See here, to remember this NEWS direction system, simply draw an inclined Z. Now from the first point, from the upper point, start writing N, then come to second point corner E, then come to W, then come to S. What we have done here, simply draw a Z here, start with the spelling of news, NEWS. Easy. Now you can see here, this system exactly resembles our conventional system of axis like this: N at plus Y, that is positive Y direction, then E at positive X direction, W at negative X direction, and south at negative Y direction. Therefore we can simply draw an axis system with X and Y axis in the format of N, E, W and S, showing plus X, plus Y and minus Y. Let's try to draw an XY axis system with notations of NEWS. And on this diagram, we will be putting all these forces. Okay, this is what? N, then this is E, then this is W, and this one's finally S. Okay, now let's read each force one by one, and we will be putting the force in that specific quadrant or direction, let's say. All right, so we are having first force, that is 50 Newton force acting along east. Therefore there is no inclination or degree or angle has been provided, and purely this 50 Newton force is acting along east direction. That's why let's draw a force lying on east direction. It is how much? 50 Newton force. Then second, 100 Newton force, 50 degree north of east. Now this may look confusing, but this is very easy. You have to remember that the force is making inclination of 50 degree with this east, and now east has two sides. See, east has two sides, north and south. Therefore how we say it? This is north of east, this is south of east. We are concerned with north of east. Therefore our 100 Newton force is making an angle of 50 degree with east direction. In which side? North side. This is how we write it. Okay, therefore 100 Newton force should be placed in the first quadrant, making an angle of how much? 50 degree with which direction? East direction. So this is your 100 Newton force. How much is the inclination? 50 degree. Okay, similarly the remaining forces can be plotted. 75 Newton force, 20 degree west of south, means 75 Newton is making inclination of 20 degree with north direction, but in which side? Which quadrant? West of north, means here. Okay, angle is with north. How much is the magnitude? 75 Newton, and angle is 20 degree. Okay, then the fourth number, 120 Newton force, 30 degree south of west. West has two sides, north and south. The 120 Newton force is making an angle of 30 degree with west. In which side? South side. Therefore southward, let's draw a force of 120 Newton, inclination 30 degree Newton. Alright, then 90 Newton force 25 degree west of south. Okay, south has two sides, west side and east side. The force 90 Newton is making angle of 25 degree with south direction. In which side? West side. Therefore the force should be here. What is the magnitude? 90 Newton. What is the inclination here? 25 degree. Okay, finally we are having 80 Newton force 40 degree south of east. Again, I repeat the nomenclature here. South of east means this quadrant, fourth quadrant. 80 Newton force is making an angle of 40 degree with east side, but in which quadrant? This quadrant, fourth quadrant. Okay, therefore let's draw 80 Newton, and here the inclination is with east of magnitude 40 degree. Okay, therefore this diagram is now complete. Now the next thing is to conventionally solve the problem. How do we do it? We first resolve the forces. Okay, then what we do? We determine summation fx, summation fy. Then what we do? We determine the magnitude of resultant, then inclination of the resultant, then quadrant of the resultant, and finally we draw the final diagram. So the thing we have to do here is the resolution of forces. Now let's try to resolve the forces here. Okay, this one. Which one is cos? This one is cos, because 100 Newton is making an inclination of 50 degree with this east side. Therefore the component of 100 Newton which is parallel to east side should be the cos component. This is the basic rule we are working with. Okay, we are following the same rule here. Therefore 100 cos of 50 degree, then 100 sine of 50 degree. Here the components are going to be 75 cos of 20 degree, then 75 sine of 20 degree. Here the component is going to be 120 cos of 30 degree, and vertical component will be 120 sine of 30 degree. Here the components will be 90 sine 25. Okay, and this is 90 cos of 25. Here the component should be 80 cos of 40, and this one's 80 sine of 40. Okay, the simple rule we are following, that is, with the axis the force is making inclination, the component parallel to the same axis should be the cosine one. We don't have to remember anything regarding the sine component. Once you remember the rule regarding the cos component, the sine component is the one that gets left out. That's why it becomes the sine component. Okay, therefore we are over with the first step, that is resolution of force system. Okay, resolution of the forces, resolving the forces. Now second step is to determine summation fx and summation fy. Now how do we do it? Summation fx is nothing but summation of forces along the x-axis, parallel to the x-axis. Here we are having 50 Newton plus 50 Newton, then 100 cos 50 is here, this one 100 cos 50 going in positive x-axis, therefore it becomes plus 100 cos of 50 degree, then minus 75 sine of 20 degree, then minus 120 cos of 30 degree, then minus 90 sine of 25, then finally the 80 Newton force plus 80 cos of 40 degree. And if you calculate this in the calculator, then we get summation Fx as 7.95 Newton. Okay, let's keep this highlighted because we are going to use this value again while determination of resultant and while finding out the quadrant, the required quadrant. Okay, now let's go slightly bottom. Okay, these forces will be visible like this. All right, let's find out summation Fy. Now in summation Fy, it is the summation of forces parallel to or along the vertical direction. If they are going in upward direction, then they are taken as positive. If they are going in downward direction, they are taken as negative. Now in summation Fy, what forces we are having? 100 sine of 50 degree plus 75 cos of how much? 20 degree, then minus 120 sine of 30 degree. Okay, then 90 cos of 25 minus 90 cos of 25 and the 80 Newton force. Okay, it is minus 80 sine of 40. Okay, this 50 Newton force could be considered only during summation Fx because it is purely along the horizontal axis, that is east direction. That's why it was considered in summation Fx. In summation Fy, it has no role to play. Okay, therefore if you calculate this summation Fy, the value comes out to be minus 45.91 Newton. Okay, value of summation Fy is minus 45.91. Now let's keep this highlighted because this value is to be used in the magnitude determination of resultant. Okay, now let's try to determine the magnitude of resultant. How do we do it? R is equal to summation Fx square plus summation Fy square. Now we are having values of summation Fx and Fy. Let's put the same in the formula. Summation Fx is 7.95 square. Fy is minus 45.91 square and the value comes out to be 46.59. Okay, 46.59 is the magnitude of resultant. Let's again keep it highlighted. Alright, now what we need, this is the first characteristics of our resultant, which is magnitude. Second characteristic is the inclination that it's going to make with which axis? X axis, that is horizontal axis, and for that we are having formula theta is equal to tan inverse of summation Fy divided by summation Fx, and this tan inverse is now summation Fy value is 45.91. Again I repeat this thing, you don't have to consider the sign, you just have to use the magnitude of summation Fy and summation Fx here 7.95. Therefore value of theta comes out to be, if you use the function, the value of theta comes out to be 80.18 degree. Okay, again highlight this thing because it is going to be there while we draw the final diagram. Okay, now the final thing regarding our resultant, which is that quadrant. Quadrant can be found out by looking at the signs of summation Fx and summation Fy respectively. Summation Fx has plus sign, summation Fy has minus sign. what it implies? It implies that our resultant is going to be in the fourth quadrant. Okay, quadrant number 4. Therefore, we are having the sufficient data in order to show the resultant in its very position in the quadrant system. That is, its magnitude is now known, its inclination with x-axis is now known, its quadrant is known. Now let's try to draw the final diagram. Okay, x-axis, y-axis, or simply NEWS as we are having in the problem. See, this is N, then EWS, or simply you can put XY, but here in the problem we are dealing with NEWS as quadrant system. Let's stick with NEWS. Okay, the S is too small here, I think. Let's extend this. Okay, this is S, this one's W, this one's north, this one's east. Now we are having our resultant in which quadrant? The fourth quadrant. Okay, therefore here lies our resultant making an angle theta, how much? 80.18 degree. Okay, so this is the resultant of our given force system. Hope you understand this problem. Okay, the problem was in word, we converted it into diagram, conventional XY axis system, and now we are having the final answer. That is, we have replaced all these forces by a single force, a single resultant of magnitude 46.59. Let's write 46.59 here, 46.59. Okay, Newton, with inclination theta 80.18 degree, and it is lying in fourth quadrant. Okay. So here the problem is, a regular pentagon's one angular point is being acted upon by 4 forces 7, 10, 10 and 3 kilonewton, pointing towards the other 4 points of pentagon taken in order. Determine the resultant. See, pentagon means a polygon having 5 sides. Therefore, first of all, let's try to draw a pentagon, and then we will try to fit all the data that has been given to us. So this is a pentagon, regular pentagon. Regular pentagon means all the sides are equal and all the angles, the 5 angles are going to be equal, that is same. Now one angular point is being acted upon by 4 forces. Let's say this is the point, let's name it point O. The point O is being acted upon by 4 forces 7, 10, 10 and 3 kilonewton, pointing towards the other 4 points taken in order. Means we have to maintain this order. That is, first force will be 7, then 10, then 10, then 3. And we have to establish these forces on the other 4 points. Therefore, origin of the force will be O. They will be emerging out from point O and they will be pointing towards these remaining points. Okay. Therefore, let's try to draw these forces. First force should be 7 kilonewton. Okay, this is the 7 kilonewton force. Second force is, it is originating from O and ending at the other point. Okay, this is 10 kilonewton. Alright, then originating from O, meeting at other point, this is another point of pentagon, 10 kilonewton. And finally the 3 kilonewton force. And we have maintained the order. First we started with 7, then we ended on 3 kilonewton. We can do this in this direction also, or we can consider any other point as O. Just remember that the data that is given in the problem should exactly be represented on the diagram. Okay, for example, let's say this is the another pentagon we can have. Then we can consider this point at O. Then what they have said, 7, 10, 10 and 3. Therefore, this should be 7, then 10, then 10 and then finally this should be 3. Okay, whatever point you are going to select, just maintain the order. Okay, Then now when we want to convert this into the conventional XY axis system, the 7 kilonewton will be like this, then this one will be a 10 kilonewton force, then this one is going to be another 10 kilonewton force, and this is going to be 3 kilonewton force. But the problem is we don't know the angles in between the forces, or angle these forces are making with respect to the horizontal and vertical. That's why we have to make some calculation. We have to first determine what is the amount of total angle included in a regular pentagon. See, by rules of geometry, in a regular polygon, sum of internal angle is given by n minus 2 into 180. Okay, what is this? Sum of internal angles for any polygon. When we say any polygon, it can be a triangle, then n will be 3, a square, then n is going to be 4, and when we are saying a pentagon, here value of n is 5. Okay, 5 minus 2 into 180. Okay, the answer here is 540 degree. Therefore, the total angle included in this regular pentagon is 540 degree. Therefore, how many total angles are here? 5. Since it is a pentagon, these are 5 angles, and this all 5 angles are going to be same, let's say equal. Therefore, when we divide 540 divided by 5, the answer is 108. Okay, therefore each angle in this polygon is of magnitude how much? 108 degree. Okay, therefore we are more concerned with this specific point. Okay, this total angle, how much it is? 108 degree. Therefore, if we continue this side, then this one which is left comes out to be 72 degree. Okay, 3 kilonewton force makes an angle of 72 degree with horizontal, because we know that a horizontal straight line is having included angle as 180 degree. We reduce this the value 108 from 180, therefore we are left up with 72 degree. Now these forces 10 kilonewton and this another 10 kilonewton and this 3 kilonewton, they are equally dividing this 108 degree in between them. Therefore each force, that is the angle that 10 kilonewton will be making, is how much? 108 divided by 3. How much do we get? We get 36. Okay, therefore this 10 kilonewton makes 36 degree angle. This another 10 kilonewton makes how much? 36 plus 36, it is 72 degree, sorry. And now if we want to convert this complicated diagram into our regular diagram of XY axis system, how it is going to look? See, this is X axis, this is Y axis, then we are having the forces as this ones. Sorry, let's try to redraw this. This one is 7 kilonewton, then the 10 kilonewton force, how much the angle? 36 degree. Then another 10 kilonewton force. Okay, and this 10 kilonewton force has inclination of 36 plus 36, that is 72 degree. And then the 3 kilonewton force, 3 kilonewton, and the angle is 72 degree. Now what we have to do? We have to follow the procedure for determination of resultant, which is first try to determine the components. Then what we do? Then we carry out the summation fx and summation fy thing. Then we determine magnitude of the resultant. Then we determine the inclination of the resultant, finally the quadrant, and in the end, the solution comes out in form of diagram that shows XY axis and the position of resultant. Okay, so summation fx, what should be summation fx? See, here 7 kilonewton is directly on the x-axis, that's why it should be taken as +7, rightward, +7. Then what we should have? Then we should have 10 cos of 36 degree. Why we took 10 cos of 36 degree? Why this cosine component? Because see, this 10 kilonewton is making an angle of 36 degree with the x-axis. That's why the component parallel to the x-axis of 10 kilonewton should be the cosine component. Okay, then again plus 10 cos of 72 degree, then again minus 3 cos of 72 degree. In previous problem we are always drawing the components on the diagram, but from the problem number 1 we are resolving the forces, we are drawing the components every time on the diagram. Now we should have enough practice that directly after seeing the diagram we should be able to code down, we should be able to jot down the components directly in the statement of fx and fy. There should not be any need to draw component each time. See, if you are new to this concept, if you are new to this engineering mechanics series, please watch the earlier videos that are stating resolution of forces, then the initial videos that we have discussed regarding the component drawing process. Okay, here we have practice enough, that's why we are directly noting this fx and fy statements here. Okay, therefore this statement of fx, when you calculate it, it comes out to be 17.25 kilonewton. Okay, this is summation fx. Similarly, summation fy, what it should be? See, 7 kilonewton is not going to be there in summation fy because it is perfectly on x-axis, on horizontal axis. That's why 10, 10 and 3 kilonewtons vertical component are going to be here, and that's why 10 sine 36 degree plus 10 sine 72 degree plus 3 sine 72 degree, and if you calculate this, this comes out to be summation fy is equal to how much? 18.24 kilonewton. Okay, and now from the signs itself we can directly say that the resultant is going to be in the first quadrant, because the sign of summation fx and fy both are positive. It's a step, it's the last step, but still we can see that both fx and fy being positive, the quadrantal position of the resultant is going to be the first quadrant. But before that, we have to determine value of r. Value of r is determined by, that is magnitude of r is determined by summation of fx square and fy square. Here fx is 17.25 kilonewton square, fy is 18.24 kilonewton square, and r comes out to be, after calculation, it is 25.10 kilonewton. Okay, let's highlight the important points here. We need fx, we need fy, then what is required? Magnitude of r. Now let's try to determine the inclination. Inclination is theta is equal to tan inverse of how much? Summation fy divided by summation fx. Okay, from the next numerical we won't be writing each time fx, fy and all this problem. We will be directly seeing the values here. Okay, then tan inverse of, no need to worry about magnitude, just put the, no need to worry about the sign convention, just put the magnitude here, 17.25. Input this function into calculator and you end up with 46.59 degree. Okay, again keep it highlighted. Alright, now the final thing. What is the final thing? That quadrant. What quadrant our resultant lies in? Q summation fx comma summation fy, and here we only care about the sign convention that value of fx and fy have, and fx has positive value, fy has positive value. That's why the quadrant is going to be definitely first quadrant. Now the final thing, the final solution is shown in the format of xy axis system with the resultant in its very quadrant. Okay, therefore this is the xy axis system. In the first quadrant, our resultant is going to be like this, value of r being 25.10 kilonewton, angle 46.59 degrees. So this is how a theoretical problem was first converted into a diagram. That diagram was then transformed into the conventional xy axis system. Okay. So in the given problem, we have been provided that there are 8 forces, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 and 80 Newton, and they are acting on a point O, and all these forces, all the 8 forces are pointing outward. Okay. For example, let's say this is point O and there are 8 number of forces. Now let's say this O is on the intersection of x and y axis. Okay, now this is going to be easy now. Okay, already we know that the intersection of xy axis, we name it as O always. Now take a look at the position of forces. Now regarding only 10 Newton force, something is given. The force 10 Newton lies on the positive x axis and remaining forces are inclined to each other with 45-degree angle in anti-clockwise manner. Okay, see, first of all, what we are given, that there is this 10 Newton force lying on positive x axis and its arrow should be outward because it is given pointing outward, and the remaining forces are inclined to each other with 45-degree angle in anti-clockwise manner. Means in anti-clockwise manner means, for example, if this is this 10 Newton force, then the remaining forces are such position that they go in an anti-clockwise way, making angle of 45-degree with each other. Therefore, let's draw force 20 Newton and how much angle that makes? 45-degree. Alright, then comes the 30 Newton force. It will be over here and its angle with 20 Newton is going to be 45. Then this is 30 Newton. Then comes the 40 Newton force, and this 40 Newton force will be having an inclination of 45-degree with this 30 Newton force. Okay, similarly this will be 50 Newton force. This is going to be 60 Newton force. Angles are 45-degree every time, right? Then this is going to be the 70 Newton force. Okay, and finally this 80 Newton force. Now let's check if the statement that was provided in the problem is correct, is being correctly portrayed in our diagram or not. See, 8 forces are there. Yes, 8 forces are there. Their magnitudes are 10 to 80. Yes, we drew 8 forces on the diagram. Then they are acting on point O, outward direction. All the 8 forces are having outward direction. Then 10 Newton lies on positive x-axis from O positive x-axis pointing outward, yes, correct. And remaining forces are inclined to each other with 45 degree in anti-clockwise manner. Therefore, this is the only way we can establish all these forces on the xy axis system like this. Means from 10 Newton, if we go anti-clockwise and if we try to put this 20 Newton force in the manner specified in the problem statement, then this 20 Newton force must be making an angle of 45 degree with 10 Newton. Then comes the 30 Newton force. It will be making an angle of 45 degree with 20 Newton. Okay. Therefore, our diagram is now complete. Now comes the second part. The first part was to create a diagram from given problem statement. Now comes the easy part, the conventional part. That is, resolve the forces, then find out fx, fy, then find out magnitude of resultant, then determine the inclination of resultant that it is going to make with x-axis, then finally the quadrantal position of the resultant, and ultimately the diagram. The diagram that shows the resultant's position, the resultant which is going to replace all these 8 forces and going to be the one and only one force being acting as the single force in place of all this number of forces. So going to the conventional part, that is, let's put solution here. First thing, resolve the forces. Now after all these problems, all these numerical, the resolution is easy, and since all the angles are 45 degree here, the resolution is going to be very easy. Now instead of jotting down each component on the diagram, let's just directly write summation fx and summation fy. What will be in summation fx? 10 Newton is going to be there, then 20 cos 45 is going to be there, then 30 Newton is not going to be there, it is on vertical axis. It will be minus 40 cos of 45, then minus 50, then minus 60 cos 45. Okay, then 70 Newton is not going to be in summation fx statement. It is going to be plus 80 sine of 45 degree. Okay, now come to statement of summation fy. Okay, first let's write down the statement, then we will calculate, then we will put the values of fx and fy. Okay, fy is going to be 20 sine 45 plus 30, then plus 40 sine 45, then minus 60 sine 45, minus 70 is going to be there, right, and minus 80 sine 45. Okay, if we put these statements in the calculator and if we hit enter button, we are going to get summation fx as minus 40 Newton and summation fy as, okay, let's write it properly, summation fy, okay, minus 96.57 Newton. Let's keep these things highlighted. Okay, now let's go to step next, which is to determine r. How r is determined? It is simply root of summation of squares of fx and fy's value, minus 40 square plus minus 96.57 square, and our resultant comes out to be 104.53 Newton. Again highlight it. Okay, the next thing is to the angle that the resultant is going to make with x-axis. So point number 4, theta is equal to tan inverse of summation fy by fx. Here again I am repeating this in every problem, that don't worry about the sign convention, just put the values, that is magnitude here, 96.57 divided by 40, and the value of theta that we obtain is 67.50 degree. Okay, keep it highlighted. Okay, then regarding quadrant, what do we have? Q summation fx comma summation fy, and we know summation fx was minus, summation fy was minus, thereby we are having third quadrant as the quadrantal position of our resultant. Let's keep it highlighted again. Okay, now we have the enough data, enough sufficient necessary data in order to show the resultant in the quadrant and in its very position. Therefore, let's try to draw xy axis system. Okay, that's too thick, I think. Let's try thin pen, then we will have xy axis. Okay, this is x axis, all right. Then again y axis. Okay, all right. Now the resultant. Okay, let's choose a thick one. Okay, this is resultant. Third quadrant, therefore this is the R we are talking about. Okay, let's name it R. How much? What is the value? 104.53. 104.53. Okay, and how much is the angle theta? It is 67.50 degree. Okay, so from the given statement we came to a conclusion of forces. Then from the given diagram we calculated the resultant. Okay, this is the final diagram, this is the final answer.